Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on the channel, we are going to discuss my NFL Week 1 predictions. Now, I'm going to give you my predictions throughout the season every single week. So this is a series that is not going away, and we are going to discuss all the games as well as my predictions in this weekly series. So let's get started with Week 1. We are kicking it off with Thursday Night Football with the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I personally think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to take the W on this one. They are the reigning champions, and I do not think they're going to start week 1 with a loss. Plus, Dallas has got a little bit of drama going on lately, so I think that that's definitely going to affect them going into this season. And Saquon's going to run like crazy. We all know that. So, definitely Eagles for that Thursday night game. And then on Friday, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. And I am going with the Chiefs on this one. It is at the Chargers, so that could sway the vote a little bit. But I'm still giving Kansas City that first win of week 1 and getting them off to the hot start. So then we move into our Sunday games, and we have the Raiders versus the Patriots. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to go with the Raiders here. I think that Geno Smith is going to have a decent year with the Raiders, and I'm going to look at them to get this win. I think Drake May and the Patriots still need a little bit more help on their team, but I think Mike Vrabel is a very good addition to that team. But we're still going to give it to the Raiders in week 1. Then we have the Steelers and the Jets, which is Aaron Rodgers versus his old team. And I'm definitely going with the Steelers here. I think the Jets need a lot of help, and I think Mike Tomlin is a great coach and will get them that first win, and that first win under Aaron Rodgers. Then we have the Dolphins and the Colts. And honestly on this one, it could go either way. The Dolphins haven't been able to stay healthy recently, but neither have the Colts. But I'm going to ultimately give it to the Dolphins. I think Tua, Jalen, and Tyreek will make some magic happen, and they'll pull off this win. And then we have the Cardinals and the Saints. And honestly, I'm intrigued by the Saints and Spencer Rattler situation. I am interested to see on a consistent basis what he brings to the table. But I'm going to give this to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. I think between him and Marvin Harris Jr., they'll definitely pull out this win. And we have the Giants and the Commanders, and this one is not even close for me. I'm definitely giving it to the Commanders and Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels had a hell of a first year, and he's looking to continue that in his next year and maybe make it even further. So I'm definitely giving that win to Jayden Daniels. I think the Giants still need a lot of help, although I do think Jackson Dart is a good quarterback and a good place to start. Then we have the Panthers and the Jaguars. And again, these are two teams that need help as well. They haven't been doing so hot recently. And I am going to give this to the Jaguars just because I hope to see a lot of Travis Hunter and see what he can do in his first NFL game. I think he is a special talent, and I'm pretty excited to see how he helps that Jaguars offense and defense. Then we have the Bengals and the Browns, and there's no question here. I'm going to give this one to the Bengals and Joe Burrow. They usually do start slow. However, I think they take this win over the Browns. I think the Browns quarterback situation is so up in the air. Shedeur had a very good preseason, but they have so many quarterbacks on that roster, so we don't know who is starting week 1. As I'm recording this, they haven't announced it yet. So I think that the Bengals are definitely going to take that, even though they do have a tendency to start the year slow. I think they take that win. Then we have the Bucks and the Falcons. I definitely think Penix Jr. is going to be the starter for the Falcons, and Kirk Cousins is going to be the backup. But with all of the drama surrounding them, they're kind of in that rebuild mode where they are trying to find their footing and their grounding. So I definitely am going to give this to the Bucks. They were hot last year. They defeated some really, really good teams, and I don't think Baker Mayfield slows down at all this year. I think the Bucks take this win. Then we have the Titans and the Broncos. And I will say that I think the Titans quarterback Cam Ward, I think he is going to be a good addition to that team. Will Levis did not work out the way they wanted him to, but I think Cam Ward will. We've already seen some connections that he had with Calvin Ridley in the preseason, so I definitely think that they're on the building path. But I definitely think Bo Nix and the Broncos continue their hot streak and they win week 1. We saw Bo Nix have a hell of a rookie year last year and pretty much shock the whole world. And I think that he does not slow down in year 2. I think he continues being the great quarterback the Broncos need, and they continue to build and improve each week. Then we have the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And Seattle is another team that I'm interested in seeing. With the addition of Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp, I think that they could make a little run here. But I'm definitely going to give it to the 49ers. I think that Brock Purdy is very ready to get back to that Super Bowl caliber team that they were for a couple years, and I think he definitely wants to prove himself that he's still got it. Plus they have CMC, who is the best, one of the best running backs in the league when he is healthy. So I'm going to give the win to the 49ers in week 1, but I definitely think Seattle is a team that they should not sleep on. Then we have the Lions and Green Bay, which is a division rivalry. And I personally think the Lions is going to take this. I think Dan Campbell is also one of those people who want to get back to that like Super Bowl caliber team. They had a little bit of a disappointment last year because they were so hot and then got dropped in the playoffs. And I think this year they want to redeem themselves. So they're going to start off hot in week 1 with a win against the Green Bay Packers. Then the Texans and the Rams. This one, again, is another one that could go either way. It depends on Matt Stafford's health. If he is still dealing with his chronic back pain that he has been dealt with all off season, then I think it could be a struggle for him. And we know CJ Stroud can throw the ball. So I'm going to give it to the Texans here. I think that the Texans had a disappointing year last year. They weren't really clicking like they wanted to. And I think they're going to want to start strong in the 2025 season. And then we have Sunday night football between the Ravens and the Bills, which should be a classic because both of those quarterbacks are MVPs and both teams are dominant. And honestly, this one to me relies so much on those MVP quarterbacks and which one has the better performance. We know that with the Ravens, Derrick Henry is going to run the ball like no other. But we also know that Lamar Jackson has the ability to run the ball and throw the ball. So he is going to have to be stopped on both aspects of that. And then, of course, you've got MVP Josh Allen, who always makes plays, always comes through for his team, and really, honestly, is probably the best quarterback right now in the league with just his overall performance. But I am going to give it to the Ravens. I think that between the dual threat of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, they're going to get the better of the Bills in week 1. And then we finalize our week with my team on Monday Night Football, the Vikings and the Bears. And I, of course, am going to pick the Bears here because I think in week 2, Caleb Williams is going to continue to grow, learn, and improve. Plus, we got our new coach, and we've kind of stabilized more weeks and more experience with him. And so I think that they are really going to focus this year on improving what they're lacking in and growing. Plus, I don't know exactly what JJ McCarthy has. We haven't seen much of him because he did get hurt. I think he is going to be a good quarterback for that team, but I think that they still need some time to really mesh together and really blend together. So I'm hoping that my Bears get the week 1 win on Monday Night Football. But let me know all of your picks for the full week 1. Let me know your team, and let's go. It's football season, you guys. As always, subscribe, like, and comment. Follow me on all socials, and I'll see you next week.